Hey there, and welcome to Gemstars, part of the Untold Stories Project. I'm Wiki, and I'll be your host and game master this evening. Gemstars is an actual play of Mutants and Masterminds, the world's greatest superhero RPG, from Green Ronin Publishing. It is set in the world of LaFonde. Mutants and Masterminds is a D20-based system that allows players and GMs to create stories featuring all of the greatest heroes of their imagination. One of the fun things about Mutants and Masterminds is the inclusion of hero points. These allow heroes to reroll dice, take an extra action, recover from a dangerous condition, make small scene edits, or use a power in creative ways. Each hero starts off with one of these hero points and can gain additional points for good role-playing, funny jokes, clever decisions, having characters' complications used against them, and by your generosity. That's right. If you subscribe, renew a subscription, or donate bits to the stream, you will generate a hero point that you can give to the player or GM of your choice. We are a small but growing streaming network, and those follows, subscriptions, likes, and comments, both here on Twitch and over on YouTube, help to keep us visible, growing, and paying our bills. Now, let's meet our heroes for tonight, shall we? Say, Gemstars, activate, heroes.
Gemstars, activate,
heroes.
Wow.
We'll work on that.
We will not. It'll be just as funny each time.
I'm telling you. All right, heroes, let's go ahead and have you introduce yourselves. Tell us your name, who you're playing, and answer our question of the week, which is, what is your favorite magical girl trope? And let me look at the overlay. Brandon, we will start with you.
I think my favorite trope might not actually perfectly be considered a trope, but I love the fact that by its very nature, it just takes the Bechdel test back to the back room and just beats the living snot out of it. And just gives us a chance to see that there's more than one type of woman or girl in a story series. So like that's probably my favorite part of it. Joe.
Oh, hi. Yeah. Okay, that's me. No, crud. I usually adapt my answers. Okay. I'm not going to say anything obvious, but and again, I don't know if this is a trope either, but I really enjoy that because there's always transformations and those are fine. But when they detransform, they're never hurt anymore. They just heal up. And I'm like, I need that magic in my life. Thank you very much. I mean, the mental scars are absolutely still embedded, but technically you'll be fine.
From a train.
And puppy. I don't know which way to point. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna need all of you to stop talking to me when I have a giant wad of food in my mouth. It's like when you go to a restaurant, the server only asks you questions when you've got food in your mouth. So I'm Aunt Puppy. I'll be playing Elliot or Alexandrite. And since Wiki didn't prepare me for this question,
I did. It was on the Discord. Like, first thing this morning.
No. I would have to say mine is probably the badass adorable. So where like they're these cutesy little characters, but then they just like kick massive ass. Like they're the bruiser of the group and like the super tough one, but they're like pocket-sized little tiny things that are adorable. That's always my favorite. I'm a big fan of like cutesy, like magical stuff. So like anytime it's like a cute little magical creature and then it like just like hulks out whenever it goes to fight, those are like my favorite. So those are always fun for me. Mainly because I feel like that's kind of me. Like I appear meek and timid, but I am definitely not meek or timid.
You're a flicker.
So I will pass it. Below me is Aaron. Oh yes, I don't have to point a direction other than down.
Hi, so I'm Aaron. I am playing Braylon /Amber. Your Gemstar of transmutation. And let's see, my favorite magical girl trope. I've got two. The first is transformation sequences. I freaking love them. I love that they are long, that they are ridiculous, that they always involve silhouettes in light and ribbons. So many ribbons. And ridiculous poses as each accessory materializes on the character. Like headband, bracelets, gloves. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. I love it. The other trope that I love from Magical Girls is how little effort goes into actually maintaining secret identities, and yet they seem to be completely unassailable. Most Magical Girl shows, they don't even wear masks. I mean, at least Miraculous and the Green Lanterns pretend with their little domino masks, but no. Most of them, they're just like, nope, look, here I am. And even though nothing about me has changed except for the fact that my hair is a little longer and my sailor schoolgirl uniform is now slightly fancier with more bows, you cannot recognize me as the same person.
Well, it's a new color. It gotta be the color matching. That's completely different.
But it usually isn't.
But it is like one shade. It's like, oh, well, it's like a one shade lighter blue.
Okay, fine. Anyhow, I stand by my statement. It's ridiculous how little effort goes into maintaining the secret identity, and yet no one ever recognizes them. So I kind of love that. And
it's magic.
It's magic. And with that, I will pass it over to Calvin.
Hey everyone, I'm Calvin, and I will be playing the Ruby Gemstar of strength and butt kicking. I'm here on Mondays and Tuesdays, and also over on the Women with Dice channel, where we have a bunch of podcasts and gaming streams and all sorts of really fun stuff. As for the question of the day, I mean, I was gonna say the transformation sequences, because somehow, even though they're largely the same each time, like you never get tired of them, because that's like the most hype and exciting moment of the show. The hero shows up, they do their whole flashy costume thing, and I'll sit there for 15-30 seconds watching that again and again. Absolutely. But I guess I also like the whole found family thing, especially when it's people who, like they don't know each other before the whole series or whatever kicks off, and then they come together and they, eventually over time, they're like the best of friends. That's something I really like.
The power of friendship.
Exactly. And with that, I'll pass it over to Jemmy.
Well, hi. I'm Jemmy. I'll be playing Morganite, or in Human Identity, Mary, because I don't feel like figuring out how to say the full name. I chose for her. And to answer the question, I also have two, which is one of them is just in fights with magical girls, how every time they will not dodge except if it is to do the most over dramatic, like 20 feet jump back, and you're like, okay, where are you going? I know that like a lot of anime has a lot of over dramatic fighting moments, but it seems like every anime magical girl has those dramatic jumps to dodge, and it's very funny to me. But the other trope that I enjoy, and I'm surprised no one else said it, is I love the animal companions when they get sassy. I mean, I love the talking animal companions to start, but when they are sassy, it is so much more fun, because it's like it's just somehow better when they're like being sassy about their normal life, because they'll just be like, wow, you're really like a mess, like really you failed your test, and you're like, okay, I don't need you judging my social life as well as my magical girling. But I love it. I will also point out, since no one else did, we got a resubscription or subscription, and I was given a hero point, which is great. So of course I have to point it out.
What she doesn't mention is that it is her father who resubscribed and gave them the hero point.
What?
That was not the important part.
That was not the important part. The important part is I got a hero point. Anyway, I hand it back over to our GM because I see no other reason for me to keep talking.
So I guess I need to answer the question of the day as well, but Calvin kind of stole my answers. I like the transformation sequences, and I like the whole friendship is magic aspect of magical girls. Those are sort of my favorite magical girl tropes. And without further ado, when last we saw our magical girls, we visited with each of them at various moments in their pasts before they became the heroes that they're about to become, to get a glimpse of the people that they are. Now, before we jump back into the present, there is one other scene from the past that we need to visit. Buckle up, because the trauma trains are coming. That's right.
Choo choo, chugga 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 choo choo.
We see two figures, one human, one crystalloid, moving quickly down an arched hallway in an area that is cavernous and appears to be made of pure crystal. Braziers of blue-white flame illuminate the otherwise dark expanse. The light glints rainbows across the hard-packed dirt and stone floor. The human, a woman of average height and slim build, who appears to be in her middle ages, maybe 50 or early 60s. Her walnut brown hair is pulled up into an elaborate braid that highlights the graying at her temples. The white bell sleeves of her simple but elegant green dress flutter behind her as she moves at a pace that isn't quite running. Her eyes, which normally radiate wisdom and kindness, are now pinched at the edges with worry and uncertainty as she looks up at the large but powerfully built crystalloid at her side. The crystalloid's voice is deep and rich in tone, but the words sound like gravel and grass being churned under a heavily booted foot. His body language oozes tension as he speaks to the woman. She nods in agreement at whatever his statement was. I know, I felt it too. It's why I arrived unannounced. They stop briefly as they come to the end of a passageway. The mighty red crystalloid hand of a sentry pushing open the heavy stone door that blocks their way before they continue out into the vast open air mountain courtyard gardens beyond. They move toward the lake at the center. The woman's eyes flaring amber as she calls upon the power of one of the gemstones that are wrapped in the elaborate necklace that rest on her chest at her collarbone. The water responds as it transforms into solid snow-covered ice, creating an easily transversal path to the edge, from the edge of the lake to the clear crystal plinth that protrudes from the middle of the waters. The two move as one as they prepare for what the Master Mage must now do. There is a synergy between them that reveals the decades-long partnership that they have shared as caretakers of the planet. The crystalloid's words are gritty and urgent, grinding against each other as the Master Mage moves in position and takes up a battle stance. Her smile is gentle and understanding as she turns her eyes on him once more. The Chancellery would do what they can from the Citadel. We both know that only the Master Mage can hope to stop what is coming. It is my duty. I can only ask you to bear witness and to lend me your strength, as always. The sky far above them crackles and distorts, bulging for a moment like an overfilled satchel. They both raise their faces towards the sky. Why did I do this to myself? We're out of time, my friend. The malignance has begun its assault. I cannot allow it to break through. Her eyes flare purple and pink rapidly as she calls on the power of 2 more of her gemstones and pours the channel energy toward the churning and rending sky. Like a monster seeking to be born, the unseen enemy fights back, long and hard. In the 4th hour, with the sweat of exertion dappling her face, her eyes flash red as she calls upon the strength of yet another stone to fortify her. She only needs to last for a few more hours, and the barriers will once more be fortified, and Lafandi will be safe for another 100 years. Her eyes flash blue-green as light rise breaks the horizon, and the fight from the other side grows weaker. There are but minutes left to this struggle. Her companion wipes her brow and wets her lips from the waters with the waters from the lake. She smiles up at him, but the smile falters as she feels something else brush across the edges of the universe. All at once, her strength, her power. All at once, her strength, her power, and her magic begin to fade. They drain away with her very essence, and as she is fighting for the very air she breathes. There's something wrong. Her eyes widen with a sudden knowledge that she cannot put to words. No. She turns her eyes, now rimmed with tears, to meet her companions, still struggling. This battle is lost, but there is still time for hope. Her hands drop from the sky and to rest atop the necklace as she calls on what is left of her power all at once. Her long hair lifts and lashes around as if in a whirlwind, and it changes colors, cycling from pink to red to orange to green to blue to purple and back again. Her eyes flash a brilliant, blinding white as the gems glow as if lit from within. The light flares and fades as quickly as it occurred. She collapses to the hard, cool surface of the plinth. Her companion rushes to her side, and she reaches up, dropping her gems into his shaking hands. She is flickering at the edges like the dying flame of a candle, and her voice is a soft timbre of a far-off echo as she speaks. Gosling, guardian of light, my friend, my time is at an end. I leave what I can. Find them. Teach them. Protect them as you always have me. I will. A wave of unfamiliar vibrations cut across her words, surging across everything. And as the vibrations recede, Gemma Travis, Master Mage of the Fondi. Why am I so emotional?
You're killing your own character.
You're killing your own character.
It's not my character.
It's okay. You're doing great.
You got this. Woo-hoo.
Is washed away into nothing, like watercolor in a storm. Only her gems remain. Rar House has lost the heavens. A sound meant to break stone. Jesus.
Don't cry. No.
A sound meant to break stone and rend souls. Sinking to his knees, head hung, gems clutched tightly to his chest. Far above the courtyard, the sky is torn asunder. The great celestial cataclysm has begun.
That doesn't sound good.
Okay, screw you. I wasn't crying, and now you're crying, and now I'm gonna cry.
Woo!
I wasn't gonna cry over the story, and then you started getting emotional, and now I am.
I'm sorry.
Our friendship means we cry together.
That was unexpected.
It's okay.
The Master Mage is dead. It has been nearly a year since the celestial cataclysm. The stars above Lafandi have shifted, and a shadow, and a shadowy, mysterious planet has appeared where once there were none. The universe has expanded, and Lafandi is no longer alone. Mere weeks after it had settled into place, strange, inky, iridescent shards broke away from the new planet and crashed to Lafandi's surface. Spread across 150 square miles, the shards were buried deep within the planet on impact, causing landquakes that could be felt throughout the whole of Lafandi. As waves of dark energy exploded outward from the craters, the event lasted no more than 10 minutes. Yet it left behind absolute devastation that would change the face of Lafandi forever. When the skies cleared and stillness returned, it was revealed that the northernmost reaches of the Jadeite Expanse, over 500,000 square miles of lush, vibrant green wilderness that teemed with life, had been reduced to a landscape of sickly gray soot and ash. Nothing had survived, excepting for some small sections of its two mightiest mountain ranges, and even those were left desolate and barren. This event has come to be known as Darkfall. 6 months ago, the mages and the crystalloids began to notice the worrying signs of further festering damage caused by the Darkfall, the celestial cataclysm, or both. All around Lafandi, perfectly healthy crystalline formations and their flora began to show signs of death and decay, and the mages began to report diminishing connections to their magic to the Chancellery. Still leaderless, with the loss of its sovereign and hoping to buy time to figure out the cause and to avoid the panic, the divided sovereign consulate decided to keep these facts from the greater general populace. 3 months ago, these changes could no longer be hidden or dismissed. As more and more of the crystalline formations and flora wither and crumble, and magic becomes more and more unreliable, it has become plain to most who call Lafandi home that there is something very, very wrong. Many believe that the planet is dying. To make matters worse, there are rumors circulating of soulless sightings, a dangerous phenomenon that has not been seen in Lafandi for centuries. Now a dark malevolence swirls within and around Lafandi. Distrust of the sovereign consulate grows, power struggles bubble within the government, and the more nefarious parts of society seek to take advantage of the chaos. And the Chancellery has yet to announce a new Master Mage. Without the sovereign to look to for reassurance and guidance, the people struggle to hold on to hope in the face of such a blight. Deep within Elysium, the very heart of the planet, Ragosling hibernates, communes, waits, as he has for the last 419 days. As we zoom in on him, we can see the 6 gemstones, once belonging to the previous Master Mage, embedded into the crystal that makes up his chest. The crystals begin to glow and pulse, and Rar's eyes flash open. Guardian, it is time. With a mighty heave of his chest, the gems break loose from their safekeeping and spiral up and up and up toward the surface, out of sight. The seeking has begun. And that brings us to the present.
Lighter tone, everyone.
Lighter tone. We just had our GM start
I think
crying.
we now all understand lighter tone.
It's pastel trauma.
And I promise the intros from now on will not be that long. But that was all important. That was all important exposition.
And then we all don't know like half of us, do we?
There's an
And
alternate
also,
Freedom League Dark out there
set
that's
the
like super
scene,
sad right
give
now.
us the environment. Yes, it's good. It was
Outside,
necessary.
It was very good.
outside the air is cool and fresh, and the hour is full light. Underground in the city of Eopinon, crystal generators hum to keep the vast city well lit and the fresh Lafandian air circulating from above. On the upper level of the ringed city, in the largest amphitheater in the public center, we find Jade Crystal, also known as Kingly Palace, buzzing around and preparing for a benefit concert that is scheduled to take place this evening.
Buzz.
Your stage manager, a stout older woman with an almond an almond complexion and silver blue hair, is sort of following you around, taking notes as you say things that need to be changed, as you do sound checks, all the standard stuff. And
This needs to be a little bit lower, and we need to pull up the treble just a little bit.
okay, I'll get those changes in right away. Did you have any other notes?
Yeah, can we rearrange the backup singers to kind of form more of a semicircle, so we're kind of all in it together?
Sure. Height preference?
Oh no.
Okay. Well, wardrobe has sent your shortlist choices down to your dressing room. You'll need to try everything on, make your picks so that we can do the final fittings before rehearsals. Vox me when you are ready, and I'll send Tony down to finish you up.
Okay, let's get this started. Heads down.
So I assume, yeah, I assume you'll head down to your dressing room.
Yeah, to all the outfits that fit perfectly, I imagine.
Well, there is a rack of about half a dozen different outfits, all outfits that you chose as your short list. I don't know if you want to tell us what some of those are like.
Well, there is one kind of full length evening gown with kind of sparkly green throughout, that shimmers as she moves. There is a asymmetrical piece that kind of sparkles like diamond. There is a kind of actually a pantsuit that is made of that's iridescent in color and has this very wonderful full hat that goes with it, very dramatic. And then there is a kind of backless kind of thigh length red ruby dress. All of them very sparkly and shiny.
Very stage production.
Yes.
Like over the top.
Yep.
Why don't you go ahead and give me a perception check?
Okay.
First official roll of the game. Let's see how that goes.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. As we all open up Roll20 to see what you roll.
I will, by the way, point out that I have the Charmed Life benefit that just basically allows me to avoid any kind of everyday mishaps. Whew. Ooh, that's not a good start.
Oh
Ooh,
dear.
ooh, yeah, I'm gonna spend a hero point.
Okay.
I can't let that be my luck-based character's first roll of
Don't
the
you
whole
have luck
campaign.
points
I was
instead
gonna say,
of
don't you
just?
have luck points?
Oh yeah, I should have luck points.
Yeah, you could spend that one first.
Yeah, so go ahead and give me.
I may not have given you.
Oh wait,
How
no,
many
no,
do
no,
you
no.
get?
I do not have luck points. They're part of the gem.
Right. Okay.
So let's roll that again. So 19, because I forgot I made a luck-based character, but it is me rolling.
Okay. So with a 19, as you are going through the wardrobe, you sort of meander over to what is the jewelry table where they have the various pieces. They're all part of your collection of jewelry, but someone else curates it for you because you don't have time for that.
There's just so much to do every day.
And a specific piece of jewelry, one that you're pretty sure you've never seen it before. So it must be new. It catches your eye, and you feel almost drawn to it, like it's calling out to you.
Kind of.
Why don't you tell us what that piece of jewelry looks like?
Yeah, it's a simple but very elegant necklace. The chain is white gold, and it has a teardrop emerald as its kind of pendant, with a white gold kind of fill around it to attach it to the necklace. And so, kind of look at it and kind of move the gem around to catch the light. Oh, this is perfect. And I will put it on.
When you put it on, it actually feels warm against your skin. But other than that, nothing unusual. And you continue to go about your process of picking out which outfits you're going to wear for what on stage. Eventually calling up for Tony, who comes down and makes sure that everything fits snugly, so that you're ready for tonight's performance. A few hours later, farther down, past the lower levels, deep into the newest mining veins, and coming toward the end of the day's shift, is Arcelia. She's alone in her fork of the tunnel, covered in sweat, dust, and mineral glitter. She's bent over a large piece of equipment, an open toolbox at her feet. Calvin, why don't you tell us what she's doing?
So at this point, she's probably working on some of the mining equipment that they've been using probably a bit more ever since the Darkfall incident, and there's been that major tunnel collapse. I think they've been relying on new Magitech a bit more. Unfortunately, since some of it's kind of new, it tends to break down pretty easily. So this is probably the fifth or sixth time she's had to deal with this sort of thing. And she's flipping through the manual, which is again no help at all. So she's kind of having to make it up as she goes, as she tries to realign the technology within this drilling device.
And I've just closed the wrong window. So
oh no, you're saying the engagement solenoid is out of alignment with the master carabiner?
I have to reverse the polarity on the
so
some sci-fi science.
Fiddling around with this thing. Why don't you go? Do you have an expertise that would help with this?
I could either roll some mining or I could roll some technology. They're both the same, so.
Oh, well then I will let you choose. If they're
technology
the same.
Then. Oh, not bad. 23.
All right. So you're fiddling around with this, and it's really bothering you that you're looking at these little circuits here and these wires here, and you're like, why is that even connected that way? And so you take about 5 minutes and you completely rewire the whole thing, and boom, starts right up with no trouble. It's humming right along, and it almost looks like an old World War II like submachine gun that you wear on your, you strap around your shoulders and you like wear it on your hip, except at the end, instead of like barrels, it's a giant crystal that shoots out essentially heat that helps to break away chunks of the tunnels. So you fire it up, and you're testing it out, because again, it's almost the end of your shift. So you're testing it out, and it seems to be working perfectly. I'd like you to give me a perception check.
Okie doke. Oh, this feels super important. I can do better than 14. I could do way better than 14. 15. Well, 25 because it's a 0-point roll.
Okay. With a 25, that is definitely plenty. As you're packing up the technology for the day, something catches your eye, and you're not quite sure why, because the whole tunnel is sparkly and it's gems and minerals and stone and stuff sparkles down here all the time. But for some reason, just off to your left, something glints and it catches your eye. And you turn to find a little pile of some of the rocks that you just took down with the equipment. And inside of it, just barely, you see a hint of metal. And metal is definitely not a thing you typically see down in the mines.
So yeah, she'll crouch down, try to figure out what this is.
You actually have found some kind of ring. And it looks pretty old. It looks like it's been here a while. Why don't you tell us what it looks like?
Okay, so yeah, she stops to pick up this ring. It has this sort of, I guess, a kind of thick metallic design, sort of like these gray, I guess, because it's a little old looking, so maybe a bit rusted looking metals. But the main feature of it being this large, circular but rich gem that's embedded into it, with sort of a circular metallic frame running around it.
It seems to be. You wouldn't tell anyone this because they'd think you were crazy, but you could swear it's not with words, but it's calling out to you. It feels like it wants to belong to you.
And there's part of her that's thinking, should I, maybe someone lost this down here or something? But as it starts calling out to her, she's like, but I can check in the morning.
Is she going to put it in her pocket? Is she going to put it on?
She'll put it on because she wants to see if it fits.
It fits perfectly. It's like it was made for you. It again, much like Kingsley's necklace, it feels warm against your skin. The open back where the gem is that is resting against your finger, it feels warm, not hot, but just pleasant. And outside of that, nothing unusual. And you continue your routine of finishing up your day.
Yep. Also making a note for the next person who uses the equipment to not remove that piece of duct tape.
That piece of duct tape is important.
Yeah.
Shiny side out, please. Meanwhile, in the capital region of Pearl, Mary makes her way through a market street on her way home from her apprenticeship at the local healers union. I don't know what is up with me and speech today.
I just choked on my water because you said my character's name and I was trying to do the hydrate.
Mary, as you reach the end of the market, you notice something very unusual in old Shady Sampson's stall. In a bird cage is a small ball of fluff in various shades of pink, with large, round yellow eyes and many strands of bright plumage springing forth from its head and its bottom. Each plume ends in a sprout of lavender-colored crystal. It's just about the cutest thing you've ever seen, but it looks hungry and distressed.
5 seconds. I need like one second to get really happy because that's so cute. Sorry, you invited the teenage girl onto the stream and you made me get a cute thing.
And I completely forgot to share this picture, so we'll go here first. Kingsley, this is Kellen. This is your stage manager / personal assistant / whatever you need her to be.
We all just died on stream there to show.
And click on the right button. This is the little ball of fluff that you see. In that.
1 minute. Oh, it's so cute.
And I have no idea of knowing
died.
if
I died just a wee bit. I'm glad.
I don't know if the
real-
audience is seeing these pictures, but I feel like the reaction from the cast should be plenty.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Good. I am
It has a
dead.
plushie. What the hell?
If we ever start marketing plushies, this is the first one on the list.
Where are we supposed to be seeing these?
Roll 20.
I
Roll
did
20.
not.
You do not.
No.
Well,
Might be in your notes or the journal thing.
Oh, okay, hold up.
Yeah,
5 more
there, I
seconds
see
to come down from the
Yeah, if you go down to the
Yeah, I found it.
okay.
yeah, the two things I just showed should be in your journal now.
Okay.
Sorry.
Lucky I could die.
Yeah, kind of. That's where I am. Oh, Mom said to never go into that stall, but he looks like he really needs to get out of there. So
Oh,
she'll
and
understand.
because it's important, we should also know what Shady Sampson looks like.
Yes, please. I need to know. Yeah, that's Shady Sims.
Okay. So that's a no.
He kind of looks like what you think.
Kind of.
So you're aware of Shady. So Shady Sampson is a short, stocky, almost gnome-like man. He has pale skin. He's got wild, dark hair and bushy eyebrows that are over squinted, dark eyes. He's got a lot of missing teeth. Whether that's from poor hygiene or fistfights, it's really hard to tell. He looks really ragged and beaten down from life. And he's known in the area for being a real conspiracy nut and also probably definitely some kind of criminal.
So Mom does not like him.
No, very few people like him.
Yeah, that's right. I'm really not supposed to talk to him, but I really want to get that little guy out of there. So Mom will live. She'll live. It'll be fine. I'm going over to the stall.
Oh, you could just steal it.
No.
Well, hey there, how you doing? You come to old Sampson's booth. I see. What can I do you for?
That little guy right there. And I'm.
Oh
playing-
yes, you see the owl, the pygmy owl. It's a magical creature.
Would I be able to get it?
I don't. It's a one of a kind. It's a one of a kind. But 30 ducats.
Yeah. Right. I'm assuming I have that budget somewhere.
You just want to pay him the 30 ducats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The little guy needs to get out.
Okay. You will hand him your 30 ducats, and he will hand you a tiny cage filled with owl.
You are adorable. We're getting you a better cage.
Little fluffy, colorful owl.
It's a little fluffy puffball of owl.
Okay, first things first. We're going to get it a better cage and some other things to bring home to make it harder for Mom to say no.
Where are you gonna go to do that?
Is there like a pet store?
Sure. It's probably a pet store, some pet supply stall right here in this market.
That's where I'm going.
Okay.
Well,
Right,
like kind of
that's-
like muttering to the little owl, like, "Well, hello there, little guy. You're so cute.
I said,
We should get you
"See-
some food.
See you later. See you later.
Bye bye.
See you
Thank you."
later. And he's counting his ducats, and no one asked me what a dugget is. I haven't decided yet.
I don't think he knows what it is.
So
I was like cooing to the little guy, like, "Hello there. What's your name?" Like it'll respond. Like it'll respond.
it just looks up at you with its big yellow eyes.
I love you.
Oh,
You are adorable. We're gonna get you some food, some nice little treats.
oh.
Get you a bigger cage. Mom can't say no if I say that you were, like you were left alone. We had to get you to a good home.
So you make your way over to the pet stall,
Mhm.
and the woman who's working there is, what can I help you with?
Could I get some? Could I get like a decently sized cage to hold a guy about this size in that is bigger than this? Holding it up.
Oh, you got that from Samson, didn't you?
Yeah.
And she kind of peers out. I told you to stop putting animals in too small cages. It's what I had. All right, look. And she goes back into her stock and she comes out with a much more appropriately sized cage.
Yay.
Just trade me. I'll give you
Okay.
this one. You
Aw.
give me the little one. I got stuff I can put the little one in.
Thank you. I will do just that to get the little guy out before handing the cage.
Okay.
I need a name for him.
Do you have any type of animal expertise?
That's a good question. Gotta
The
go with
owl was never seen again.
no. Like I don't want to say like I'm like grabbing it. No, I do not have any animal expertise, but it's like need to be like basic knowledge of how to not get killed by an animal that my mom probably drilled into me.
Well, it's definitely not going to kill you. It's like
Yeah,
it's like small. It fits in your hand. It's
just
tiny
like gently
little
like
pygmy
grab
owl.
it. Try to at least.
Okay. How about just a general dexterity check?
General dexterity. Okay, I think I'm actually decent at that.
No, you don't.
Don't say that. I would like to keep my owl, please. I'm not. But
Would you like to
rolled well, so that's an 18.
Okay. So you manage to get a hold of the owl, and you pull your hand out, and as you're going to stick it into the other cage, it kind of nips
Oh,
at the web of your thumb and your
Ow.
finger,
oh, that hurts.
and you just reflexively
Yeah.
release. And the little owl flutters up, and it hovers above you for a second, blinks at you,
Please don't.
and flies away.
Okay, I'll just take the cage and go chase after him. Thank you. And that's what I'm doing.
Okay. So you take your cage and you chase after the little owl for a little bit
Yeah.
down the streets. And you realize that it's way up in the air.
How am I supposed to get him down?
You're probably not getting that owl into that cage. And it's getting a little late,
Yeah, mom's gonna get mad at me.
so you probably want to head home.
Yeah. Oh, it's not a good choice. Okay.
So disappointed that you didn't get
Yeah.
the owl in the cage, but happy that you freed the owl and it's now not
This is
depressed and hungry.
Yeah, that's fair.
You
Just like hide the cage near the home where no one will check in case Because I don't really want to come back with an empty cage and have that round of questioning.
What type of is your house is a single story?
Probably.
So you could always just, stick it into your window before you
Yeah,
come in.
just like, yeah, slide that in there. Look around, make sure that I don't have any mark where it nipped me because they'll notice.
No, it wasn't biting, it just wanted you to let go.
Right.
It was like a little warning nip.
Yeah, okay.
So you go about the rest of your coming home, and your mother is you're late.
Sorry. I got a little distracted in the market is all.
She just gives you a look. She goes, fine, dinner will be ready shortly.
All right, thank you.
So you finish your night, you have dinner, and you go back to your room, getting ready for bed, when you hear tapping on your window.
Okay, I'm gonna check out the window.
You turn around and you look out the window, and there is your owl, and it's carrying something.
I'm gonna open the window for my little buddy because he's back.
And it hops in,
Hi.
and it drops whatever was in its mouth onto the windowsill. And it's a ring. Why don't you tell us what that ring looks like?
All right. Welcome to me describing something I have in my hand. It's a fairly simple design. It's kind of like, I want to say like a scaled pattern, but it doesn't have anything in between them. It just has the more pattern of it. It like rose gold color, and then in the center there is a nice little dropping the ring. Nice, just simple gem of a bit of morganite in the center. It's not anything over dramatic. It's a very nice kind of everyday ring you could just have on. But pretty.
So your new friend has brought you an offering, a gift, thank you for freeing me from the shady gnome guy.
Yeah, that's valid. Oh, you're such a sweetie, aren't you? How did you know where I live? We'll call it fate.
It blinks at you and turns its head.
We'll call it fate then.
As if saying, I have eyeballs, dummy.
Well, yeah, but it was flying the other way.
You don't know that.
Okay.
It's very quiet when it flies because it's very small. So what would you like to do with its offering?
I'll take the ring. I mean, it's a pretty ring. Just kind of like playing with it in my hand for a moment before like I'll try it on.
Whichever finger you slide it onto, it seems to fit perfectly. Again, it's as if it was made for you. And once more, when you slide it on, there's a warmth, a comfort, this is, I belong to you, about the stone as it touches your skin.
Interesting. Well, I'm going to have to get you. Can you go back into the cage now, please, buddy?
It hops over and it hops on top of the cage, and it sort of snuggles down into its feathers.
You're really cute, but my mom's gonna throw a fit when she sees you.
And it kind of shrugs as if that's not its problem.
You're gonna cause me a little bit of problems, aren't you? Okay, bud. Don't destroy the room overnight, please.
gives you that look that I just made with my face.
I love it. I love it.
So later that same day, it's during the twilight hour. Also at Shady Sampson's stall, just as he's closing up for the day. Oh my goodness. We just went over how to pronounce this name.
What did you do to yourself?
I didn't do this to myself. Seteta? Did I say that right? All right. You've been following your target all day, and he has finally stopped long enough and in a place that you can get to him. The problem is the package you're after is currently being exchanged for another package at a local market stall. And your target hands over the package to Shady Sampson. Shady Sampson takes it, puts it on a shelf to the back of his stall. And he goes, yeah, it better all be there. I don't care. Just go. And he goes a little further back into his stall around the back, closing up shop for the night.
Oh, okay. Definitely gonna stealth that.
What would you like to do?
Sneaky.
Sneaky? Where would you like to sneaky to?
Definitely gonna make sure
There's probably still time to sneak into the stall before he closes it up.
Yeah. Make sure hood's up and follow the shadows and sneak in with my stealth and try to yoink it and GTFO.
All right. Well, the first thing I need is stealth check. I am not looking at that. What did you roll?
26.
Something obscene, I'm sure.
Yeah. That was so satisfying. I'm sorry.
Yep. Okay, so you disappear into the shadows. No one knows you're there. You're not even sure you were there. You don't know where you are.
It's a new city. Whatever.
Okay. I'm not even going to ask for a sleight of hand check because you have vanished into thin air. Are you going to just grab it and run immediately? Are you going to wait for a minute to see where old Samson is headed? He's in the back and he's unrolling the tarp and all of that nonsense.
I'm gonna quickly, sleight of hand it into like the bag that I keep on my back, and it's the pouch that faces my body instead of outward. Just swoop it in there and casually look around as if I'm still peering into the stall to like buy something, and slowly like, nah, I'm good, and back away out in case anyone does happen to notice me or him.
There's not really anyone else around. He usually closes up last at night because, well, he's Shady Sampson and he's kind of shady. Everybody else closes up as light falls. He stays open for a while. Gotcha. So you grab the package and you're out of there before anyone notices. You know that the package that you have in your hand is a little large for what you were sent to get. Okay. Do you want to look in the package?
Oh,
or you just definitely. Okay? So we're not just
broker and information. Absolutely looking in it.
Okay. So you open it up, and the first thing you find is the thing that you were sent for, which is coded governmental documents. That was the job you were sent on. But there's also several ducats worth of gem spice and a sodalite crystal hair stick. Would you like to describe to me what that looks like?
Yes. It it's about 10 inches long, and it is, the stone itself is shaped into a fine point, and at the upper end of it, so then the blade, the point part of it looks like a blade to a sword, but it's teeny tiny, like a little pokey dagger. And so that's about 6 inches, and then the final 4 inches is mimicking a hilt. But then there's 2 moons as part of the hilt part, and so she just picks it up and was like, "That's different." Looks around. Not part of the mission. It's extra. I always say that's a tip. And so she just shoves it in the back of her hair to hide it away.
As you shove it into your, I guess, your ponytail? Ponytail at this point,
It's gonna be like, it's all up in a bun right now.
Okay. So as you slide it into your hair, part of the gem blade sort of rests against your scalp, and you feel that warmth of belonging, of ownership, of something. It's comforting. It's a feeling you've actually never had, and you're like, that's definitely mine.
Did you just say she's never had the feeling of friendship or belonging?
Of comfort or belonging. No.
Oh, my bad.
Comfort, belonging, like community. No.
So that's weird, but it's the only weird thing about it. You kind of pass it off as just, you're tired.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going to move to the White Storm Rotunda. It's full dark now, and the shadows are playing against the softly colored stone and crystal of the building. Braylon is there, standing in the shadows outside of a little used lower level entrance. They're waiting to take delivery of a sensitive package as arranged by Consul Queris Hydrox. Aaron, what is Braylon doing or thinking as they wait?
Braylon is they are concerned. They don't love the sneaky. And anything that is that sensitive and that careful makes them very nervous and on edge. So they are doing their best to be cool, but they are very definitely running through disaster scenarios in their head of what are we going to do? What are we going to do? If this happens, am I going to have to do X? Am I going to have to do Y? But they're trying very hard to just outwardly stay calm and cool, and yeah.
You have noted that the delivery is a little late. Or later than you think it should be. Why don't you go ahead and make me a perception check?
Sure, because I'm good at that.
Joe, why don't you give me a stealth check?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't notice them. I mean, I rolled lower than their bonus before they roll. So
for our audience, that is a 12 on perception and another obscene 25 on stealth.
I'm not
So-
sorry at all.
So, so Joe, as you walk up to your delivery point, you see someone you have not seen in years. And they're waiting in the appointed location. They're definitely your contact.
I'm gonna dig around in one of my other pouches. I'm gonna pull out a little bag of ginger snaps.
Oh no. Oh no.
And out of the darkness, a little bag just flies out and like, bink.
Did you just throw a bag of ginger snaps at them?
Yes,
Just,
that is how I am saying hello.
just
Oh,
the
not the ginger snaps.
okay,
Thoroughly
Raylan.
freaked out. And
The shadows just threw ginger snaps at you.
Do I see anyone around?
You can give me another perception check.
Well, I'm not even necessarily wondering about whether or not I see whoever threw the ginger snaps. I'm wondering if I see anything. But
No, this spot was chosen specifically because no one goes there. Like ever.
yeah, I'm not going to notice them. But yeah, that was a
You
whopping
do-
18.
Yes, but you do at least recognize what direction the ginger snaps came from.
Okay, I will spin towards wherever that was and say, "Who's there?"
steps out, step out of the shadows.
I assume your hood is up.
Yeah, that is the hood going off.
That's what that means. Yeah. Okay.
that is what that means. Sorry, it's not like meh. No. Yeah. I'll go.
That don't do that. That's weird.
So stealthy.
So stealthy in real life. Okay, so she steps out from the shadow with the hood up, and we'll have the documents out, but guarded, and ask, do you know what those are?
Are you referring to the papers in your hands or the bag that you threw at my head?
The bag.
Are you making any effort to disguise your voice?
No, but
Okay.
I feel like time and trauma has changed her a lot.
They smell like ginger?
Nothing more than ginger. Okay. All right. Fine. Why are you the person to collect these documents?
Well, because they're for my employer. I work for the consul.
Oh. Why did your employer send you specifically?
Because they trust me?
Okay, she's gonna take the hood off now.
I assume I do not recognize this person.
Um, maybe she probably still resembles a little bit the preteen she was, but you've not had contact with her for 5 years, 4 years, something like that. It's been years.
Right.
So probably not right away.
Okay.
Fine. Here. I need the rest of my payment.
Of course.
But I gotta say, I really, really believed that as soon as I found you, you of all people would be able to remember me. But of course, this curse is like, right. Okay.
Sorry. I
Nothing. Cool. Yeah. I've been trying to find you for so long, and here you are on a random mission, just one of these stupid government missions that really don't pay well for it being the consulate. I had to chase him around all over the city. Took way too long. He was obnoxious, and then he went to like this shady dude that was out in the market in the lowlands, like obnoxious. But fine, just I want my payment. But you know what? Next time I go to the tribes, they're gonna know. I'm gonna tell aunties that you can't even say a proper hello anymore. What has this city done to you?
I'm really terribly sorry about this. I feel like I should recognize you, but
Yeah, you should. Here's your ginger snaps. Take my money.
I baked them myself.
Hey Joe.
Yes.
When I hand you the payment, I need a will save.
Oh shit. Okay. Is that one of the ones that gets lower? No, I don't think so. No. Oh. 11. I'll keep it.
Okay. Actually that's really appropriate. Oh my god. Satecha. How did I not oh god, I am so sorry. It's been, and Braylon will step forward and try to hug you.
And it's the first time you've noticed, but as you do that and she steps back with a no, there's a small bluish colored mouse on her shoulder that also goes.
My memories were so messed up when I returned from the right. It took me months to remember. I thought everyone, and you were already gone by that point.
I was still there. I didn't want to pester you. You were hurt, and the elders wanted me to stay away. I tried to give you some ginger snaps as a goodbye present, but you left them behind. But anyways, that's the past. That's not now. Thank you for paying me. But there's some stuff going on, and I mean, I do my job and it's fine, but Mousy needs help, and I was really hoping if when I found you, you could help me figure out what's going on, because
No, of course. I would be only happy to. Let me get these back to the console, and then come back to my apartment with me. And you can fill me in on everything that's been going on, and and what you need help with, because no, absolutely. I cannot possibly apologize enough.
I mean, it's that weird thing. People don't remember me sometimes, most of the time, all the time, whatever. And
And you know, brain injury.
yeah, there's a lot to talk about. But I need to go get my stuff, and I'm still new to the city, so I don't know where your address is yet.
Do you have a Vox?
No. That's too expensive. Why would I have one of those?
I mean, I can give you the address, but
Are you at least in this district or a different district?
You're
I don't know,
actually,
Ricky, am I?
you're actually not very far away from the rotunda itself. You actually chose to keep the accommodations provided by the consul, so it's about 2 streets over.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm nearby, and Braylon will give very good directions. And no, I'm so glad to see you again. I don't have any excuse, but I was really messed up. Like I said, I forgot so much. I'm so sorry.
I get it. I do. No one warned me you were going to be the drop off. Sorry. I probably should have responded better. It's been rough. Anyways, I'll come back. I'll see you in a couple hours. I got to go get the rest of my stuff.
Of
I
course.
should not leave it in
And-
that tavern.
No, of course, and I need to get these to the console. But yeah, no, I'll be waiting for you.
Okay. Into the shadows.
So as your new old friend goes back into the shadows from which she came, you have the documents. I'm assuming you'd like to take those back to Consul Hydrox. Why did I do that to myself?
You really did.
I really did.
Yes, no, I mean, of course I will take them back immediately.
Okay. So you and the consul are one of maybe half a dozen people that are left in the rotunda at this hour, and most of those other people are security. So you make your way to their office and give a little knock and enter.
I have the package.
Oh, good. Hopefully this will give me the information that I need. And once I've looked over that information, I will share what is pertinent with you. You should probably go ahead and go home. You've been here. I think you've been here longer than I have.
I don't need a lot of sleep. But yeah, I actually have a thing I should be attending to back home. So, but you know, let me know whatever I need to and what I can do.
I will. And he takes the package and starts to sort of organize, for lack of a better word. There are a few info crystals, and there are also actual paper documents, and he starts to organize things.
Okay. Then yeah, I will get back to go back to my apartment, and you know, it's Spartan, but
he actually says, Braylon,
yes,
before you go,
yes,
there is something. I have something for you, and he pulls out a small box and passes it over to you, and it's a gift. I know that I know that your rights were not normal, and you did not get your own crystal, and you have been a boon to me these years. So I wanted to give you this for service to our people, for service to me, for service to Lafandi.
Sir, you didn't have to, but thank you.
Now go home.
Okay. So yeah, Bray will, as soon as they step out of the consul's office, curiosity is going to get the better of them, and they are going to open the package, or open the little gift box.
I have also just shared the image of the console, just for everyone's edification.
Okay.
And for those in the audience, I will share these images on our Discord after the show's over.
Okay.
So you open up the box, and it's a small, unassuming, little cardboard box, like a little jewelry box. And inside of it, there is a pendant laying on some folded up paper, just like tissue paper. Why don't you tell us what that pendant looks like?
So it's a very simple setting, a oval in stainless steel filigree with an amber in the center of it. The back is open so that light can shine through, and there is a short chain to attach it. It is it will be very tight and worn high up on the neck, almost like a choker. Not quite, but because it is a necklace, but it's that kind of worn up high, very close against the skin, and would come up over the collar of their fairly traditional looking Iodosian garb. And yeah, Braylon looks at it and is just like, oh, that. And they kind of look at the chain and try to figure out whether or not the chain is going to be, if there's enough chain to fit around their neck properly.
Do they want to put it on?
They will put it on.
So when they put it, again, you look at it and it's like, you think that maybe the console underestimated the size of you, but when you put it on, it fits perfectly. It fits exactly where you would want it to sit. And as the gem touches against your skin, you get that warm, familiar feeling of comfort and home.
That's unusual. Huh. You're not alive, are you?
There seems to be no response from the gem.
Okay. All right. Well, then I need to get home, and if there's anything still open, stop to make sure that I have Satecha's favorite meal waiting for them.
There's going to be a few like pubs open at this hour.
Okay.
None of the major public eateries will be open, but you might be able to find a pub or a tavern at this hour that still is serving food.
Okay.
So
Well then.
while you gather your supplies and head back to your abode, where Joe's character, whose name I just cannot say, may or may not be waiting for you. We are going to go elsewhere. Time is irrelevant on Shadowfall, bathed as it always is in perpetual twilight. In the palace, a roaring celebration is coming to a close. Another world subjugated. But our focus is outside of the palace, many blocks away. Hiding in a dirty, grimy alleyway, crouched behind some long discarded, moldering trash, and dressed to the nines, is Elliot. She's breathing heavily and seems to be mumbling to herself in terror. Aunt Puppy, what's going on?
So right now, so after this soiree that Elliot was a part of, because the options I gave Wiki, she went with the meanest of options.
Actually, I mixed them both.
That's why they are conquering, why they are celebrating the conquer of everything. She is dressed in a corseted lace number in all black with with purple trim. Very high, tall shoes that she only ever gets to wear once in a while. But she is crouching behind, hiding, because she has been exposed for her, legitimacy thieving, I guess. She thinks
Smuggling of contraband.
Yeah, sure. If you have to get like the legal definition of what she's doing. But she has been exposed, and the gazpacho.
Gazpacho.
It's always what it looks like. It's how it's pronounced. I know it's not. Are looking for her.
That's fine. We're going with that.
Yeah, they're the pasta people. They are coming after her, trying to find her as well as her mother, but mostly her, as she was the one given up as the ringleader of the whole thing. But she just keeps mumbling to herself, shit. Who could have told them? I was so careful. Because during the party, Elliot was using it as a cover to sneak some of the Empress's it's not rightfully gained, but conquered property from all of the other cultures that they've slowly taken over. She was attempting to use it as cover this fancy party. And all she can remember is running into her sister. And that was the last person she remembers speaking to for the evening. And can't believe that the potential is that her sister gave her up.
Really? She can't believe that?
I know. The sister that hates her. Yeah, I definitely couldn't believe that she'd give her up.
Yeah. So you are there in that gross alley, hiding behind trash.
And her favorite.
Why don't you give me a perception check?
Okay. Excuse me. Hold on, I'm getting there. There it is. There's a 26.
That is a crit, by the way.
Yeah, I got the little circle.
So as you are sort of crouching there and you're running all of this back through your mind, you're trying to figure out what happened, where you're going to go. Holy crap, holy crap. You see a glint in this compost heap, but it's shiny and you're a bit like a crow, and it's like, I must have the shiny thing.
Well, that feels right.
But it is half buried in the compost, trash, grossness.
Yeah, it's just gross. Party waste.
No, the party is far from here. This is just general grossness of the streets of Shadowfall.
Street waste.
Yeah. It's not an unusual thing in Shadowfall. It is not an unusual thing.
For the pores. Not an unusual thing for the pores.
For the pores. Also for pretty much everybody. You just the not pores just have a little bit less of it. You live a little higher up and trash trickles down. So what would you like to do about the shiny thing?
So she kind of will look at it and then kind of forget it's there, go back and focus on trying to get herself, but for some reason it just feels like it's watching her. So she finally just turns around and grabs it, thinking that it's, I don't even know what she thinks.
The shiny definitely seems to get brighter as you ignore it.
Cool.
So when you grab it, you don't even have to dust it off. It's clean, despite the fact that it was in that pile of gross. So when you look at it, it appears to be some kind of brooch. Would you like to describe this brooch?
So the brooch is kind of almost a broken oval. So it's not quite a perfect oval. It's kind of misshapen a little bit. And along the edges, there is just some of, like the gingerbreading Gothic style around it, in kind of a silver, almost like a marbleized silver and black kind of around the edging. Not super, super fancy, but something that she'd never really seen kind of fancy before.
But definitely on brand.
Correct.
Okay, so as you're holding it and you're kind of running your hand over the gem, every place that your skin touches the gemstone, it feels warm and comforting, and there's a sense of belonging to it, to you, to you're not even really sure what, but that is a really new feeling for you.
Yes. That is an understatement. And just the warmth in general is an understatement.
At least somewhere deep down, you are pretty sure you like that feeling. As you're inspecting this new find and you are examining the feelings it is giving you, you hear, "There she is!" And a hand grabs your shoulder.
Well, she's not going to scream because they kind of gave away their position by yelling. So that was dumb. But she gets up very quickly after she's still got the brooch in her hand and just kind of swings at the person behind, or I guess thing, what creature?
So as you turn and swing at them, there's actually two of them.
Cool, that feels great.
They're, you know them as enforcer demons. They're big, distorted. They kind of look like Baron Harkonnen from Dune, if you're familiar with that. Gross and big and red, and they have horns, and they're just gross. They're wearing loincloths and nothing else. And they have curly tone. They're just demony and gross. And the one that is touching you, are you swinging your fist? Are you swinging the brooch?
It's kind of, she's got the brooch almost like I don't want to say like, brass knuckles, because that's not quite what they are, but like she's got it like between her fingers, like what they teach to do at night with keys.
When you put your keys between your, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
why
so
don't you
holding it between her fingers?
Why don't you go ahead and roll me an unarmed attack?
I'm gonna try that again.
Hold on. Oh. Wait a minute. What did you
That's
roll?
Not very good. It's a 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't want to do that again.
Yeah. I don't want to die here. Oh, I'm hush, Ghost. She's judging me for my opinions. How about a 23?
Okay,
that feels better.
Just smack the absolute crap out of this guy. Oh my God. Yeah, so you managed to hit him right in the temple with the edge of the brooch, and he just drops like a sack of wet noodles, because that was a 5 on his toughest save. That's a 5 total, by the way.
Oh shit.
And
he real gone.
The other one, who was a little further back, and you're pretty sure these guys are twins, maybe, because they look almost exactly alike, goes, "Hey, get back here!" And he's gonna reach for you now. Are you going to fight this one, or are you going to break and run?
Did he not see me just drop your brother with one punch? Like, why would you then go, I definitely should grab her?
He did see that, but they're more scared of the Empress than you.
Probably is a better choice, but
as they should be.
Yeah. So she's more or less going to kind of slip escape. So she's gonna kind of like see him try and grab her and just be like, nope, and kind of step back and run. And kind of, I'm assuming I have to roll to escape him.
No, because he's a little ways away from you, and these guys aren't built to run. So you take off running down this alleyway, and you cut through another alleyway, and you cut through another alleyway, and then you suddenly realize that you've dead-ended yourself, and you're not quite sure.
For those watching at home, she did take off her shoes because she's not an idiot.
So at this point, you were just sort of frantically running. You're not actually sure where you are. And you hear, as you're trying to figure out where you are and where to go, you hear a weird sound. It's kind of a
So she's gonna turn really quickly to whatever that sound was and just, I mean, I guess you could scare a demon. So
Kill it.
Very dumb, because what she was expecting was big man grab hand And instead she got a little teeny tiny creature making a weird wimpy noise at her. So she was a little freaked out and kind of turned around really quickly, like ready to punch something.
When you turn around at first, you're kind of, you don't actually see anything at first. And then you hear the sound again. And your eyes focus down toward a crate that's in the alleyway. And for lack of a better term, a cat. Except that this cat is, like most things on Shadow Fallen, a little bit nightmare fuel. It's mostly cat, but it's black in color with some shades of purple in its fur. The tip of its tail ends in a purple gem-like barb. And around its neck, almost like where a collar would be, is sort of an almost glowing, almost see-through collarbone of gemstone. And then across its chest, it's almost as if its rib cage is on the outside. So a little bit nightmare fuel, a little bit cute. And we will show you what that nightmare fuel looks like.
Oh,
No, that is the cutest cat I've ever seen. That looks like my cat, you jerk.
Your
Why
cat
would you
looks like it
call it
has a
nightmare
rib
fuel?
cage on the outside.
Why would you call it nightmare fuel? I want it.
It's so cute.
it's
You're all
adorable.
you're all very strange, and I love you.
I mean,
So this and this cat, it doesn't seem to be fully substantial. It's a little bit ethereal, like its feet sort of vanish into strings of blackness and cloudiness. It's a little bit strange. Spirit cat, maybe?
It's a shadow cat.
And it looks at you again and says, "Meow." And it stands up. Again, it's hard to tell with its floaty, weird legs. And it turns and heads down behind the crate. And you hear it, "Meow," again, but there's an echo.
Well, before it kind of fully ran away, she just kind of looked at it and started having a conversation with it as if it's her subconscious trying to figure out how to get out. So get out of where she is, figure out where she is, give her an escape, a home somewhere for a moment to think. Because she was not prepared. She was prepared to escape. She was not prepared to escape this soon. And so when it runs behind the crate, she's gonna go, well, you could have just said something. And she kind of walks over to see where it went, assuming that it didn't just vanish.
So when
And
you
then
look,
creepishly puppeting at me.
so when you look behind the crate, there's actually a grate, and or what used to be a grate, but it's gone. And there is a tunnel of sorts through this alley wall. And it is standing just a little ways back. And it looks like it's waiting for you. Meow! And it turns around and starts walking away again.
Hey, Brandon, give it back. The nightmare cat back. So she goes,
Fine now.
well, next time, just be more specific. And she climbs into the tunnel and starts following its little meows and its little feet through this tunnel. Just yelling at it to slow down because it's going too fast. And then
Every time you tell it to slow down, it goes a little faster.
Yeah, and then it pops up right next to me, like, hey,
Uh-huh.
like,
Yeah.
you know. just
Sometimes
kind
it seems to vanish into the shadows, and then that's when it pops up next to you.
yeah,
And most cat-like, it has that little grin on its face when you jump, and then it
okay.
goes
That,
wow, and it's walking.
that part makes it nightmare fuel. I'm seeing like a Cheshire cat grin with its like
Yeah.
little green glowy demon eyes, and yeah, that's terrifying.
Yep.
That part I don't like. That part she doesn't like. Everything
That
else,
part we don't love.
that part we don't love.
Okay. So eventually this cat leads you to and maybe it's an abandoned warehouse or garage or something. But it looks like a completely safe place to at least spend a night, to assess your situation, maybe get some sleep, gather your wits about you, and figure out what the heck you're going to do. And eventually, all of you all, after putting on concerts, saying hello to old friends, explaining why there's an owl in your bedroom, worrying yourself to sleep, you all find sleep in your respective places, dreaming of whatever it is that you dream about. This time, however, something is very different, as each of your dreams dissolve, melt away, or transform into something else. At first, there is a white void filled by only yourself and 5 other brightly colored humanoid figures. Their features are distorted. They're cut like the facets of a gemstone. Each of them is a different color: red, orange, green, blue, purple, and pink. In the space of a blink, the void becomes a cavern, like the inside of a giant geode. Blue, white, crystalline formations of all sizes and shapes protrude from the walls and ceiling in all directions. Only the ground where you stand is clear of them. Before you have the time to make much sense of what you're seeing, a voice calls out to you. It's soft, but clear, and holds a familiarity and warmth that sets you momentarily at ease. Welcome, Gemstars. Your journey to your destiny has begun.
What?
Oh, fun.
Oh, fun, of course.
Destiny?
I'm confused.
Elliot just looks around for that cat and said, God damn cat.
Way too in the open right now. I don't like this.
So as you're speaking, from one of the walls almost, the figure of a woman, except that she's made of clear faceted crystal, and she's ethereal like a dream. Her features are hard to focus on or make out, and prismatic colors sparkle over her surface as she moves. I also have a picture of this.
Ooh.
I'm loving all of these pictures you have for us.
Look at that
Ooh.
girl.
Oh my
Beautiful.
god.
She's pretty.
Ooh.
And she steps into view. I know that you are confused, and I will do what I can to answer your questions.
Can we see each other yet, or are we all bright, shiny?
No, you all still look like bright, shiny gem people. Almost like the cut gemstone version of crystalloids is what you look like.
This is a really weird dream.
Wait, am I the only human? The rest are crystalloids?
Oh wait, yeah, that's weird.
No.
No, we're not crystal.
You would also call yourself Lafondian, not human.
Yeah.
Just an FYI.
Don't tell me how to feel my feels.
You might say human.
Yeah, humans.
The blue one seems to have a question.
Soda light, yes.
Okay. Another name, fine. Who are you? What is this? Do not like. What is happening?
Yeah, that's a good description.
I have no name. I am only resonance, an echo left by my creator with the purpose of finding you and guiding you to the guardian.
The guardian?
Okay, who is the guardian?
Who made you?
You must
Are
go.
we going on an adventure?
That does sound fun.
You guys were a lot more excited about this than I am.
Ophelia, is that you?
We know.
So at this point, as you're listening to each other's voices, anyone who knows anyone else, those images of those people become clearer. They still glow with their color, but you can now recognize anyone that you already know. You can now recognize.
Everybody who doesn't know the three of us sees the green figure run over to the red and blue figure and give them a hug.
Not blue,
No, red and pink.
red and pink.
Oh, red and pink, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm blue. We do not know each other. Back off.
you look so good glowing green. Oh,
Kingsley, is that? Okay, so this definitely is a dream.
Oh, red fits you.
You think so?
Oh, yes.
Gemstars.
sorry.
You must go to Ithium. There you will find the guardian and your purpose.
How far away is that?
Let the gems guide you.
Yeah, no, I have a mom who will.
As the voice echoes through your head, you all wake up once more. Some with a start, some by a gentle hand, and some with the usual slowness of a return to consciousness. And with that, this is definitely a good time to take our quick break
Yeah.
because it is 9:30.
Yes.
So
Wait,
we are
isn't
going to
this
take,
when we're supposed to end? We didn't do a break at all, did we?
no,
It's like 2
and-
hours.
we still have an hour left.
Oh, okay.
Remember, we're
So-
now 7:30 to 10:30, or
We're shifted slightly.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead, take a break, refill our waters, stretch our legs. We're going to be back here in
Pet our cats.
We'll
And-
have mine just like up here.
5 to 7 minutes. We will see you to close out this first part of our adventure.